We're gonna hook you up with some Skyfall secrets so you can be like the coolest of all your friends. I'm Hyla in Hollywood.
And I'm Nicole Dabeau for the Daily Buzz on CelebBuzz.com.
You both know what's at stake here. There isn't much road left. Take the bloody shot.
All right, the reviews are in. People are loving this film. It's not even out yet. Let's run down some secrets, though. Some of the latest news that you might not have heard about the latest 007 movie, Skyfall. Joining us via Skype from the Extra Studios is film critic and AC Slater BFF, Benjamin Lyons. What's up, Ben? How are you, buddy?
What's up, everybody? How are you? And I am one of those critics who is singing Skyfall's praises. It's a terrific film and the best of the Daniel Craig Bond series so far. I absolutely loved it.
All right, well, we got to get into some of these secrets here. So the first one that we have is that Sean Connery was actually discussed to play the role that Albert Finney plays in Skyfall. Is that true?
Yeah, very early on, they had an idea that maybe they should bring Sean Connery back in some form. And there's a pivotal part in the film when Albert Finney, who ended up taking the role, comes into play. And there's a little bit of a backstory there with Bond. Director Sam Mendes said, you know, they flirted with the idea of it, but they all agreed that it would definitely be a distraction and take audiences out of the moment. And I agree. I mean, while this Bond film is very self-referential in terms of a lot of the history of Bond and the lore of Bond, I think that would have taken it a little too far. So the idea was kicked around a little bit at the beginning, but thankfully cooler heads prevailed, and Sean Connery is not in this latest Bond.
Speaking of Sam Mendes, this is a fun story. I'm curious to know if it's true, how he kind of came on board. This all went down at a Hugh Jackman party. I am sure you were there too. Tell us what went down.
Well, Hyla, as somebody who's crashed many a Hollywood party, you know that this is where deals get made and things happen. Not for you, but for everybody else. And if, you know, Hugh Jackman and Daniel Craig are good buddies because they did a Broadway show together called A Steady Rain, which I actually had a chance to see. So you wouldn't think that they knew each other. Hugh Jackman originally offered the role of Bond, but passed to go and do Wolverine.
Wait a minute, so we were going to have another Aussie in the mix. Hugh Jackman said no to this just to do Wolverine. You think that was a good career move?
I think so. I think audiences want a British guy to play James Bond, and I understand that. But the two have remained friends. Like I said, they worked on Broadway, and there was a party for Hugh's birthday, and Daniel Craig went up to Sam at the party and said, "I want you to direct the next James Bond." And I guess if James Bond himself approaches you at a party and says, "Direct my movie," who's Sam Mendes and his Oscar, winning caliber for American Beauty and, great films like Road to Perdition and stuff. Well, who is he to say no? So that's how it happened.
Yeah, Hyla, you shouldn't give up. Keep crashing the parties.
I'm going to keep crashing the parties, yes.
All right, so as we know, Skyfall is already open around the world, and it's breaking records at the box office. What are the expectations here in the U.S.?
Well, let me set the stage for this U.S. opening. The film's already earned over $287 million around the world, making it the third highest Bond film ever, behind Quantum of Solace and Casino Royale. It's already, I'm going to read off some facts for you guys. It's already made $86 million in the United Kingdom, which in about a day or two will be the highest grossing film there of the year, passing The Dark Knight Rises. It set a new record for opening weekend in Switzerland with 5.3 million. It's the biggest Italian debut ever at 8 million. It's putting up huge numbers around the world. And I think everybody here in the States is looking for $100 million opening weekend, which for a November movie is unheard of. But the buzz on this is so strong. And you got to remember, Daniel Craig is a much bigger star now, 3 Bonds into this, than he was when he started with Casino Royale. And, he's done films on the side like Cowboys and Aliens and the 2 other Bond movies. And he's been, and the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I mean, he's been steadily working throughout this whole series, which has only added to his star power, which adds to the excitement of Bond coming out, this weekend. So look for, I think that's the goal for Sony. They want this to be a $100 million weekend, and we'll see if they can do it.
Nowhere else on the internet are you going to find a movie critic dropping numbers from the Italian box office. This is why we brought Ben Lyons on the show.
It's done 3.4 million in Austria, which is already double the 2012 record. So
Dude,
the Austrians are loving Bond.
This is why. Make sure you catch more of Ben's worldwide box office reviews on Extra. And if you want the latest stories breaking right now, head on over to CelebBuzz.com.
Guys, thanks. Peace.